If you haven't seen this moment between Mandani and Trump, you need to see it. This is absolute gold.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
He's the ultimate troll. And I just need to add, all of you in NYC that voted for Mamdani because you said he was so against Trump, he was gonna make sure he didn't listen and do anything Trump said and blah, blah, blah. Looks like he bent the knee. How do you feel about that? How does that make you feel? And I need to add, you guys have called us insults for so long that literally none of us care. But it is just gold watching the President of the United States say, call me whatever you want. Like, what a troll moment. Oh my gosh. And you guys thought that you were offending any of us with any of the names you've been saying. And then you want to sit and scream, he said, what was it? Shut up, piggy. I don't even know. And you're all offended by that. Yet you're calling him all these names. Make it make sense.
Zoran Mamdani has officially dropped another banger. That's right, folks. The second ad after his election as New York City's mayor. And guess what? Y'all won't believe it. The man is asking for money again. So y'all tell me that y'all voted this man in to give y'all a whole bunch of free stuff. He's going to kick out the billionaires and anybody who has too much money, except for his millionaire mama. And then he's going to give y'all a whole bunch of free stuff. And now, again, before he's even inaugurated into office, he is already begging for more of y'all money. And the crazy thing is, y'all are about to give it to him.
Yes, Trump met with Mamdani the other day. I was not able to put out videos to update you on what actually happened and what people are saying on social media. I noticed something. One guy said this conference show us people with different opinions can get along in America. No matter how bad you think someone is, social media will make you think they are worse. Politicians are insult in public, shake hands in private. Don't get caught up in the outrage. That is actually what a lot of people don't understand. Trump meeting with this guy, a lot of people had different, opinions about the whole thing. But what they saw was different. Though I saw, a lot of executives like they're not happy, especially Laura Luma on Twitter. She sent out tweet upon tweet. She wasn't expecting Trump to be smiling with this guy. But I said, Trump is the president. He's a New York mayor. In a few days, he will be there and he has to work with Trump. Elections period is over.
Policies as well that Mayor-elect Mandani talked a number of times about on the campaign was shifting the tax burden for property taxes from what he called minority communities to white-based communities and putting more taxes on white people. I also noticed that in your acceptance speech, or Christians or white people in general, and so I didn't know if that was one of the policies that you guys had spoken about.
We focused on affordability. We focused on the cost of living crisis. What I will say is that I am very much interested in property tax reform because what we see right now in New York City is a system that is so inequitable that it can't even stand up in court. And the president and I spoke about the importance of not only building more housing, but also making sure that regulation of housing is something that is manageable to actually get through and not the cause of yet another wait that we see in our
But to
city.
be clear, you're continuing this idea of race-based property taxes.
No, to be very clear,
That's what you said.
no, the use of the term was a description of neighborhoods, not a description of intent.
So you intend to tax the whiter neighborhoods more?
No, we intend to create a fair property tax system because we want a New York City that is not only fair and equitable, but also one that every New Yorker can afford.
Mamdani is learning in real time that there is a difference between campaigning and governing. He just sat up there or stood up there like a nice little puppy while the while the press was confronting him with his own words. Trump had to bail him out. Now, you have a bunch of leftists out there wanting Mamdani to stand up to Trump. Like, what did you think it was gonna look like? What do you think it was gonna look like? Huh? You people, man. Now, we got the cope out here. The cope. Yo, we are living through Parks and Recs, Veep, all into one. But the veil is slowly being pulled out, man. You see, Mamdani met the real Trump. Not the Trump that you see on camera. He met the real Trump. And I'm just assuming, and you know what they say about assuming, I'm assuming that he's like, yo, the media got it wrong. Now, you know, it's politics, so he's going to go back to his base and tell them how it went behind the scenes, you know what I mean? Bigging himself up. I told Donald this, and he said, come on, man. Anyway, I wish him the best of luck, because I know the difference between campaigning and governing. Now is the governing season, okay? And you're on the hook for everything that happens in New York, all right? So behave responsibly.
This was actually the most ridiculous thing I saw during his campaign, now struggling to clear up the air about taxing white people more. I saw this, I was like, what is this? Now he has changed the tone about that. I was impressed when Jack came up with these questions. What is more funny about this guy is the fact that the day he met with Trump, a question surfaced if Trump is a fascist. His response, Trump did not even allow him to respond. Trump said, say yes. He was unable to speak up. He was afraid. I don't know. Immediately, he went to this lady on Meet the Press. He was able to speak up. He continued to insult Trump, though they agree on some things. That should tell you a lot about this guy. When you see a snake, you can easily identify. I understand. When it concerns policies and some things, I can disagree with you and agree. But when it concerns personal insult, I'm not there. This is something I've seen with Democrats insulting Trump, doing this. To me, that is not the real thing to do. There is no single name that I've not called Trump. They did that thinking that was a good idea, but it bounced back on them. It didn't work out. That should tell you a lot about this Democrat.
Zohran Mamdani's principles are fundamentally hostile to the founding principles. His idea that we should confiscate property. John Locke, the founders, they were very clear that property rights
Has he ever talked to Harold? He's never said anything about confiscation.
He said he wants to take luxury
two debates
condos.
that have interviewed him half a dozen times.
Then you would know that he said that.
There's no confiscation.
Then you would know that he said that he said
Can I just say,
luxury condos to be taken if they're not in use?
This is a perfect example. The MAGA media ecosystem has made Zohran seem like this extreme.
I just find it so funny that while the Trump supporters were freaking out about him meeting with Zohran Mamdani and praising him, Donald Trump was just posting photos of them hanging out together. For example, Laura Loomer, who's one of Donald Trump's biggest supporters, said after the meeting that Democrats will have a landslide in the midterms because of the meeting. She was also saying that people shouldn't vote for the Republicans because they're embracing someone like Mamdani. She was just raging among the other MAGA fans.
But it is amazing. I mean, I don't want to tip my thing at the end of the show, but this is exactly what I'm going to be talking about. He met him in person, Mandani, and great meeting. I mean, the night before, just like the night before I went there. Trump he's a great guy, great meeting. He said, you know, they asked him, you know, what about...
CNN was caught on this video saying that over and over, not the first time, saying he would confiscate, he would do this. On the other hand, B was here praising Trump. Like telling Democrats this is who Trump is. Forget about what is happening on social media. He's a nice person when you meet him. I want to appreciate people supporting me, sharing out the videos. God bless you abundantly. Never stop in supporting this platform. As of the short clips at the end, that is for the YT algorithm. You can always skip.
Daniel. No, he still won about 40 points.
This let me know one thing. This ain't got nothing to do with color.
This ain't got nothing to do with color. It's either God's side or Satan's side.
And that was my first instinct to have more Republicans on the show, but they don't want to come on. They're scared of us. It's like history.
Point when I say I'm not going to be apocalyptic. He even gets an off.
If the Democrats...
Because how many times do somebody asks
for?
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States. If you want to serve in the American...
Give interviews, I don't do that.
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States.
Happening at the moment.
Yeah. President Obama
is blatant censorship.
Because he says he has a team of fact checkers.
The FCC.
I want them to stop fooling around with my right to say what I feel.
Well, Americans, it's a part of who we are.
Because that is really something that didn't happen before.
Does anybody else watch The View? Because I think there's...
I'm going to say one.
Look, there are certain rules of free speech that we must all abide by. But in case anyone needs a refresher, we're going to go over the rules again.
He does not have a right to have a television show.
To spreading lies.
Somebody to get up there, not
all the same people that are in these polite...
Disagree with Gavin Newsom said that he doesn't...
Dave Chappelle.
Without of interest.
I mentioned last night Trump was bragging about how...
Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Peggy D.
Many were surprised to see Darth Renner...
Between now...
60 minutes for editing an interview.
Be more clear. That has been the